Yeah, credit to Wales. I thought they got on top of us physically in the second half. I felt that we struggled to exit. Look, the yellow card in the last 10 minutes was tough. You saw that in their last try. Our defence got very cold and very soft. Yeah, there's learnings for me. You always, as a coach, look back and see what you've done things differently. There's certain things I'd like to have done differently, but really proud of the players. I thought they showed excellent signs, particularly when we only had 31% of possession. I thought their defensive sets were good. I think there's a lot of things there that we can be proud of. I think our defensive shape was good. I think our energy to get back in the game and defend. We defended for such long periods of time. It does take it out of a team. And I felt that their bench came on and added real strength and an impact. And we couldn't cope with it. But again, like everything else now, as a coaching group and as a player group, we got to own that performance as well. So impressed and proud of everything from the crowd to the day that we had was fantastic. But we all need to be collectively better, and I think we need to be smart about how we're going to do that this week in preparation for France.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you. Cheers, Emma.
Hi, Greg. You mentioned obviously, like in the second half, the power was a big issue, and the scrum and line out were really dominant for Wales. How do you go about actually kind of narrowing that down in the short term? How do you go about closing that gap?
Well, firstly, you break down the footage that we have. You make sure they come up with a plan. It's pretty obvious that there's ways of counteracting them all, whether that's how you set up from the line out or whether it's the actions as soon as the jumper hits the deck. But there's certainly areas that we'll work on around our maul defence. We have to. That was an area that was exposed. I think in the scrum as well, we'll continue to work on our scrum. I think there's been some really good sessions being done by Rob. I think the scrum is going the right direction. I think you just want to get hold of the ball a bit more and hold on to it for longer periods, because we're trying to play a fast pace. They slowed it down a little bit, and we need to just be a bit more assertive into holding on to the ball and playing the way that we want to play in attack. But really proud about what we did defensively.
Yeah, and like in attack, were you pleased with how clinical you were in attack? Because there were large parts of the game where you didn't really touch the ball, but those 3 tries were very well worked.
Yeah, great. That's what we're working on. So, like anything else, when you've got a plan in place, there's times you doubt yourself. Like there's times for the last month I'm doubting, the direction it goes in, because you always do, and you should, I think. And you want to be challenged by your coaching group, and you want to be challenged by the players. So to see what I've been working on come through, and it was really effective when it was on, gives us enough to say, we're going the right direction, particularly defensively. Our defensive shape, I was so happy with, because it's something that we put a lot of effort into. And like anything else, again, 31% possession, defending for long periods, tired bodies. Their subs came on and were strong. They kept us in our own half. We couldn't get out. Our exits were poor. So we'll do work around our exits and make sure we tie those up for the next game.